The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
First-time
Caller.
First-time caller.
After downloading the free Discord app, use the invite link in the description or scan this QR code with your phone to be taken to the Beyond Wednesdays Discord server.
First-time listener, long-time caller.
There you will see the Modern Comic Mayhem category on the left with the call-in waiting room. Join that call-in waiting room, set up your camera and your mic, and have your questions ready.
Call me now!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday night. Another Friday night means another Hot 10 show with the one and only Ben Stein. Of course, you got me and our boy Richie hanging out, just enjoying the show along with everybody else in the live chat. We got 87 live to begin the show. Appreciate you guys every week making the show just absolutely amazing. And yeah, how you guys doing? What's going on?
Good. I forgot my camera at home, so I'm on the old crappy 480p crappy camera. So
is it beta?
It's terrible. My computer's like 5 years old, so I'm surprised it hasn't crashed at this point.
At this point, it's a word processor, right?
Pretty much, yeah. So.
Oh my gosh, man. Shout out to everybody that has already hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please do that. That helps us out a ton. It gets more people in the live show, lets more people know that we're out here and we're doing it right now. So we'd appreciate it if you do that. I want to say thank you to a few people that I already see in the chat. Shout out to the one and only Philip Chung. What's going on, brother? James Kreider, a.k.a. Brains. One of the best IG channels there is. Make sure you guys follow him. Brad Seldon, Esquire, aka the OG that likes to find me great stuff out in the wild. I appreciate him immensely. We see our boy Chad Cave. What up, brother? And a lot of new people. AOA's in the house with all the emojis. I love them. Let's keep bringing them, baby. Let's freaking go. And everybody else, thanks for hanging out. We got a lot of fun things to go through today. I want to remind everybody, if you're not subbed up, to hit that subscription button, and you get to enjoy great content not only every week, but Stein's been, cooking. He's in the warehouse cooking it up right now. A great new show that you guys are all gonna love. Any new news on that, Stein?
Yeah, I actually was going to edit it today, but this is my last trip for a long time, so I'm going to be back at Camp Steiniger, and so we'll be home for at least probably the next 6 months, and yeah, but this week's been tough. I've had a trainee with me this week, so it's been I have barely had time to do anything. Since I've been here. I'm in Austin, Texas right now.
Ooh,
so if anybody's
nice.
wondering where I am, Austin, Texas.
Love Austin, man. Great town. Great town. If I was ever going to move from Phoenix, that would definitely be top 3 on the list to check out would be Austin. So
I think everybody here is transplants from California, and New York. I think that's pretty much the whole town now.
That's Phoenix. Same thing here, man. So all right, you guys, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about tonight, and we're gonna get it started off with one of my favorite parts of the show that you guys all know and love. Hopefully, you know and love it. That being the Almost 10. And I got a little interesting stuff this week to talk about on the Almost 10 that we're going to get into. So, yeah, let's get into it. The Almost 10. All right. First things first. Tomorrow night on the Modern Comic Mayhem show, we've got a great interview with a great creator, somebody that's been on Beyond Wednesdays already, and everybody just loved him when he was on, and I told him I want to trying to get him on as much as possible, and he has come out with an exciting new comic, aka NFT project, aka AI art project called Blank Canvas, that being our friend Television. And I just wanted to show you guys how cool this is. This is a new project that he is doing all about the journey down a rabbit hole, helping an artist trying to find, how he gets his creativity and how he figures out how to do stuff. So, yeah, I want to show you guys this. This is pretty cool. This is Blank Canvas. From Television, and you guys can go check it out. Blank Canvas HQ on Twitter, also on IG. It's just about how an artist finds inspiration for doing what he does, and this is pretty cool. Let's check it out. Wait, that's not it. Here it is.
An artist. It's not easy. It's always. I like to think of myself as an artist. It's not easy. It's always a challenge. In my own way, I keep on trying. Today I found myself in front of an empty canvas, my favorite paintbrush in my hand. Inadequacy filled my chest. The canvas was pristine, white, beautiful in its emptiness. I dreaded the failure that might await me. I was filled with a feeling of helplessness. I have nothing to give. I have nothing to say. Overcome by despair, I clutch my brush. I stare into the canvas and begin to feel my body rising, swaying, falling forward into the void.
Pretty badass, you guys. And the cool thing about it is they brought this out to the world at Comics Pro this last week. They dropped off 200, I think it's 200, maybe less, comics there to be handed out with all the other Comics Pro variants. So if you guys were at Comics Pro and you were lucky enough to get one of these, hold on to it. I think it's going to be a great collectible in the future and could be an amazing project. I really have a lot of faith in this guy, Television. He's also the one that Vinny, our buddy Vinny, introduced me to in San Diego at San Diego Comic-Con this last year with his project called Little Bitcoin. You guys might have heard about that. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out, but I'm really interested to get Television on the show and to talk about it. They did talk about it in the Comics Pro wrap-up, which was kind of cool, getting a little heat on it. So that will be tomorrow night on Modern Comic Mayhem. Make sure you guys come check it out and enjoy the show. Let's get into the rest of the Almost 10, starting off with some interesting books this week, including an Heir book, a Bloodshot Heir book, this being a printer's Heir variant. Am I correct, Stein?
I'm, I don't know if when they say Heir, I don't know if that's probably the correct terminology for
Misprint.
Misprint?
Because I think it's more like a proof. It's like it. I think I can't remember. I remember hearing about this book like because I think there's. So this is Bloodshot number 0, the Platinum.
Mm-hmm.
And it says print, or like the listing said printing Heir, but it basically is just, it doesn't have a price. So up in the top left-hand corner, there's no price. But I think that it's more a proof. And I know there's a gold version of this as well, and I'm not sure. Like the gold version, there might only be like 5 in existence, and I think this platinum, there's probably maybe a couple hundred of these or something in existence. Super rare for. I mean, again, it's a Valiant book, but I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I remember when Bloodshot came out in the 90s, and everybody wanted this Bloodshot #0, because it was like, oh, cool with Bloodshot. But
you guys,
yeah, it's an interesting book for sure.
You guys know one of my all-time favorite websites is Recalled Comics, and Recalled Comics has a nice little write-up on this that they say the Platinum Air version of this issue appears to be a gold edition manufactured without the additional gold ink being applied to the chromium cover graphics. Other than the omission of the gold ink, it seems identical to the limited edition of the 5,000 gold issue, including the lack of a cover price. It is unknown whether these variants are press proofs or produced in the print test runs ahead of the main print run, which one source suggests would limit the print run to 25 or less. Alternatively, these could be a produced by manufacturing errors in the main print run. The gold ink supply may have run out, or they may have been left out from one part of the embossing process. So there's been a little over 20 verified as existing with 22 registered gradings, but that's getting pretty close to that 25 limit. So I'd be interested to know if there's very many more out there. And if anybody is in the chat that knows about this book or owns one of these, let us know, because this is a cool little book right here.
Yeah, this one did sell for $1,600, and it was a raw copy, so it was not a CGC copy.
Wow. So, dude, $1,600 for a raw. I wonder what a graded one would sell for.
Is it green label?
That's
Because
a
the
great
same
question.
the due diligence I did before the show says it's a manufacturing error. I was wondering if they would green label it, because the reason why I say that is because Rise Zero, First Bloodshot, how the glossy short cover. A lot of people said that was a manufacturer error at first, or not an error, but a gimmick of some sort. I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently the glossy cover doesn't have anything to do with gloss. Supposedly the cover is actually shorter, and you can see like at least like between an eighth to a quarter of an inch of the splash page when it's sitting on the back. So I thought maybe
here's one of the 9.8 blue labels, and it does say platinum printing error. So
it's an expensive book too. 9.8, man, that must be like a big book, right?
Yeah, it's interesting, dude. It's a cool book.
Shit.
Yeah.
$1,600
for a raw. Be on the lookout. You never know. Those are the type of books that I love. I love those. That's why I love Recalled Comics so much, man. So, all right, this next one is another interesting book, Static number 33 on the Almost 10. Great old school book, milestone book. Cool cover here. What's going on here, Stein?
So this is who's this character?
I forgot her name, but I know the artist is Fraser, right? Fraser?
I'm not, to be honest, I'm not really sure. Anyways, this is like her first, like she took over as Static in this issue, I guess. So like a female Static or whatever.
But she's like the second iteration of, or moniker holder of Static. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Captain
$60
Gil Summers.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. $60 raw. This one's late, so it's 33. So it's a little bit later in the run. Not way down towards the end, because that was what, 40 something. Is that what the last issue?
The
was
last
like
fives are 40 through 45. So 45 was the last issue.
Yeah. So about a year before, but I'm sure the print run was fairly low. I would assume also, kind of like a lot of those 90s books that are white, they are very dirty. If they weren't anything sought after, they're kind of grimy and stuff like that. So I would think finding a high grade copy that's not dirty is probably pretty difficult on this one.
Yeah. You guys know we love our boys over at Cover Price. So a lot of the information where we look this stuff up is brought to you by Cover Price. And yeah, January of 1996, this came out. So very interesting book right here.
I like the cover. It's simple, but it's just like, I don't know, it just doesn't remind me of a 90s book. It reminds me of like a mid 2000s IDW kind of book. You know, Ben says, I love when that IDW UPC's on there.
The old school light bulb. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the old light bulb is so cool. Why did they ever get rid of that? I don't know.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And whenever you guys see that old school light bulb, definitely take a look. It's worth checking out. It might be something that you never know. It could be worth a grip of money. All right, next book on the list, Batman number 445, the second printing, which is purple color variant.
Yeah, I for some reason I didn't realize that there was a second printing of this that was purple. But it is a really cool. That is a great cover.
Yeah.
With Moscow in the background and stuff like that. That is, and for those that is not the Kremlin. That's not the Kremlin. So don't think that is. That's in Moscow, but that's not the Kremlin.
That's the church, right? The Eastern Orthodox Church or whatever.
Something like that. But everybody always seems to call it the Kremlin.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Right.
But still very, very cool cover. I don't know why this one. I mean, basically, it was a VF near mint copy, sold for $35. I don't know if it's just because it's a cool cover. If this is really hard to find, I guess a lot of the Batman run from that era, I tend to probably skip through if I'm looking through back because there's not really anything of significance generally that would be in there.
Well, there's 5 first appearances in here.
In this issue?
Yeah, 3. I mean, I'd say all 5 are minor in the sense. 3 of them are definitely D- characters. There was 2 antagonists though that keeping my eye on with this book. It's the NKV Demon and then not Slasher, but NKV Demon, and then the other one is Detective Nikita Krakow that is rumored for the Gotham City Police show if that ever comes back. I don't know if it's canceled or not, but
nice. Yeah, very cool. And for $35, $30 to $35 for a raw issue, man, that's a book to be on the lookout for, for sure.
Were these in packs? Is there a DC Universe edition of this, or just first prints for that?
Oh no, this is way before the DCUs, but they were maybe making some of this. Maybe there's not very many second prints of a lot of these issues, so this one just kind of came out of nowhere, and I don't know why they changed it purple, because they didn't really do color changes back then. They just put like a 2, and this one doesn't even have a 2, on the underneath the price or anything like that. Usually, if they did a second print, they put that Roman numeral 2 on there. So I don't really know.
Yeah, interesting. Well, this next one is very cool, too. A book that I know we talked about back in the day on Flipside and the Prospect 10 list or Modern Playbook. That being SpiderGwen number 0, the second printing of this, which is a tough book to come by, man.
Yeah, this one. Okay, so this had sold pretty well. But this week it sold for 175 raw, and a 9/8 sold for 600. Now, I'm never one to give I'd rather buy this than that, but I don't know the significance of this to spend $600 when you could get like a CGC 9/6 of the Edge of Spider-Verse 2 for $600. Like, it seems odd that you would want this book for the same price, but I mean, whatever you guys want to spend your money on, but man, that's expensive for basically a reprint.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's interesting. Well, I think at this point, it's about getting all the different printing or the different color backgrounds of this, right? That's kind of the play, and this has the light blue background on it. The first printing looks just like the background looks just like the first printing of Edge of Spider-Verse 2. So I think when it comes to this book being so hot, it's just a different colorway on it. So are we going to start calling the different colored second printings, third printings? Like, are we going to start like calling them colorways like shoes? Because that's basically what it is, right? Maybe I'm coining that comic term right now.
I like the comic term we came up with on at the beginning of Beyond Wednesdays, or at the end of Flipside. We called it the variant age.
Yes,
Remember that?
yes.
We were talking about ages of comic books, and we were talking about how long modern age, the threshold, it's just continuous. We need to come up with a, maybe nip it in the bud and then come up with a new one. Me and Brian thought of calling it the variant age. That would be something cool for something like this.
But this isn't really a variant. I mean, it's a variant of SpiderGwen number 0. But
yeah,
this isn't like, so like Patrick said, this is the rarest for Spider-Gwen, but this isn't even the same book. It's not Edge of Spider-Verse. Right. So I would never consider this.
No, not a variant Edge of the Spider-Verse, a variant to number 0. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out why people would be so drawn to this particular thing when it's not. It's basically just a copy of a cover that is from a different title. So it's like if somebody took AF-15 and put it on the cover of a Spider-Gwen cover or something. Like, it's not an AF-15, it has nothing to do with it.
It might be one of those cases where the homage fooled the buyer. I've been a victim of that before. So when they had confirmed Spider-Gwen would be in Into the Spider-Verse, I went digging in my long boxes and I had like 3 of these first prints, and I was like, yeah. Just to find out that I fucking lost. But yeah.
Hey, I still regret getting rid of all my Edge of Spider-Verse 2s, and especially now because my 5-year-old, like, she watches the little Spider-Man adventure thing on Disney Channel or whatever, and she loves she calls her Ghost Spider, but she loves that character. She's like, she is so cool. So
that's awesome, dude.
So I can see how this would be a character that for a long time is going to have a lot of influence on it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I was hanging out over at Jesse James Comics the other day, and he had I think he had bought a collection a couple weeks before, and he was going through it, and he pulled out a Edge of Spider-Verse 2, and it was the black air variant. So I think that I saw Patrick say that this could be the rarest, first appearance, quote unquote, first appearance books of them all. But I think that black variant might be rarer than this. So the air variant.
You might be onto something there.
All right, let's move to the next book. Another one of my favorites of all time, Batman Adventures number 36. This one being the DC Universe variant. The last issue in the Batman Adventures run, such a great cover with, the way Batman is kind of posed in like agony there, and then all the different covers of the run on the background, which is great, man. Including,
if you look, including first title at BA12, yeah. But man, if you look at freaking Batman, man, look, he is ripped. Like look at his biceps and his waist size is like, he's like a 24 waist.
That's the Arnold Schwarzenegger V, right?
Right. So this one's always been this DC version of this, the DC Universe version of this one's been pretty hard to find. But this one did sell this week raw for 180, which, man, I'm sitting there every single week. There seems to be a DCU that sells for like 80, 90. I mean, it's like, I can't imagine what like an entire set of those would actually like when you start to break it down. I mean, that whole run would be, I mean, like if you were a completionist to actually have that whole set complete, I can't imagine how much that would actually cost to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And half the time you don't even know if it is the entire list, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, because there's some of those that are just so impossible to find. There might be less than 10 copies that are even known about on some of those. But I mean, I know the list. There's 500 plus in that DC universe that have that DC universe logo. There's over 500 of those. And I know I've got a bunch of them, but not anywhere close to 500.
I think
I
Daryl
might
Miller
have
is probably
a couple hundred.
right. Daryl's probably the guy who's got the most that we know of. Daryl Miller. So, next one on the list, another great second print book, Cry for Dawn, number 5, I believe, the second printing variant.
That the right cover? I couldn't find it anywhere.
That's the right cover, man.
Nice.
That is the right cover. The first cover is basically is very super risque. This one is just as risque. And you got to think, this was back in the early 90s. This was, now we're kind of used to seeing, covers like this, but 30 years ago, these were not that, unless you were basically going like Underground Comics is really the only places you saw them. But Linsner was way, way, way ahead of his time on this. But 130 raw now on this.
Ooh.
And there was a CGC 7.5 that sold this week for 110. So even if it's lower grade, I know a lot of us are 9/8 snobs, but man, some of these books, it's almost better to just go ahead and slab them up. Pay the $20, get them slabbed, and there's people that are okay with buying lower grade if they're slabbed. So,
man. That I remember seeing this book when it came out and just thinking like, holy cow, that is the greatest cover I've ever seen. And nowadays, and we'll talk about it more, nowadays, like you said, this is one of the tamest covers there is compared to some of the stuff that's coming out nowadays. Like, you know what I mean? But man, wow, Jesus. So 130 raw on that. I wonder what graded ones would sell for. I wonder how many graded 9/8 there are. Yeah, where's Red Hood when you need him? Where's my soundboard, Mama?
Drama.
All right, great book, 130 raw. You guys, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for any of the Cry for Dawn books. Great stuff. All right, next. This is an interesting one, a very interesting one. One of the horrible-looking foil pictures, the foil cover pictures. Jurassic League #1, the 1/25, the second print foil 1/25. If you guys want to see what the regular cover looks like, here's the regular cover. You can see all the Jurassic League characters kind of getting ready to take each other on, and there is a foil version.
Yeah, so this is not new. This came out the end of last year sometime.
Yeah, it was it was on the Hot 10 that week it came out. Remember?
Yeah, well, it was only selling here the last few weeks or whatever. It was only selling for like $20. Like, it was not really selling very much, and now it's selling for 100. And I couldn't find really. So I don't really know if these are just, basically kind of like a lot of these second print 1/25s, if people are just, whoever's bought them are just at that point just sticking them in a box, and the supply has just gone away on some of these things. But
yeah, wow, there he
is. What is this title? What is this title even about? What is Jurassic League? I don't even understand.
I think it's DC's. It's DC's version of the parody to their characters, but in dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they made Superman they're all these characters dinosaurs?
Yep.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, Batman, Superman, Robin, Aquaman. Look at Aquaman. Green Lantern.
Superman
Flash.
looks like the Tick.
Yeah, he does.
He does look like the Tick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see Joker, but I don't know who the other bad guys are. I see Black Manta, Joker. I don't know who the other ones are, but you think it would be a kid's book or something.
It's weird.
That's what I first thought when I saw it on FOC for the first time. I was like, "Oh, this has to be a kid, like like an IDW Marvel Action kind of deal." Guess not.
It's weird, but $100, man, $100 for the foil. So be on the lookout for it. All right. Speaking of those risque covers, we're gonna get into a conversation right now, you guys. On the Almost 10 from Zenoscope, Grim Fairy Tales presents The Little Mermaid #4.
Yeah. Okay, so first, this is a $25 book. This is the A cover. It's not a variant. It's $25. So if you're into just flipping and you can get this for cover price, you can flip this. But me and Brian kind of talked about this before Richie got on the backstage, and this stuff is just weird to me. This is super weird. I don't get this. I don't understand.
Weird as in creepy?
Yes.
Weird? Or,
yeah, just weird. Like, why? I don't understand taking like kids characters and then trying to adult them up. It's just it's so weird. I mean, if you guys are into this, I'm not trying to offend you, but this is just weird. I'm sorry. It's
Perfect
weird.
example that we were talking about backstage is that Wednesday Addams Pharaoh Lounge book. One of the worst produced books I've seen in a long time. And there are some artists out there that are amazing artists. But some of the stuff they're making is skirting that line of super creepy. The guy we were talking about was the Shatari. Is that his name? Shatari or something like that? And,
Shikari or something
Shikari.
like that.
And he does not only the kind of weird like semi creepy books, but he also does the ones where it's like a famous person's face on like a super risque body. He even does like nude variants, and it's got like a famous actress face on it, and you could it's obviously not her body. That actress does not have those features, and you're like, what is this, man? It's gotten so ridiculous. Disturbing is what it is. Amen, Funhouse Comics. It is disturbing. 100% weird. But it sells, man. Sex sells. I think it always will. I don't know what else to say. How much does this sell for?
Like I said, this is a $25 book. So
and isn't the Little Mermaid kind of like a kid's? That's the other thing. Like you're getting into the territory of like CP type stuff and kids type stuff. Like it's like
Mm-hmm. I mean, I get the part where because the conspiracy theorists, I might be one of them, but on some of these Disney movies and cartoons and stories, they're metaphor for something that political, right? Or something that's risque or whatever. There was so much stuff I'm not going to mention right now, but that's, if you're like that, then maybe. But to me, for an artist to do something like that and then publicize it, to me, it's just like, wow, man, where's your mind at? Unless the publisher is actually asking him to do this.
Yeah.
This is what we're thinking. We need you to do this. What can you sketch us real quick?
Yeah, I'm not. The case, yeah, I agree. Like, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with the cover itself, other than it's being like, this is like Ariel is like I'm gonna say she's a young girl. Like, if this was like a cosplay cover, like. I
see, like Robert says, remember Jessica Rabbit? Yeah, but Jessica Rabbit was an adult.
In the
cartoon.
Right.
So it's not the fact of, if this was just called The Mermaid, then I don't think there would be no issue with this at all. But basically, what this is basically trying to do is kind of cater to people that, I mean, so there's obviously people out there that somehow have like some kind of, you know, affinity towards like young characters that are, you know, cartoons or whatever, and so this is basically adulting them up to, I guess, cater to those people. Again, if it just said the mermaid, then I don't, or you know, I don't think it would be an issue. But when it says basically it's taking the Little Mermaid, and then, you know, even though they probably don't call her Ariel, but they're using the Little Mermaid right there, you know, on the cover to where I think that's the issue. It has nothing to do with the cover itself. It has nothing to do with, you know, I mean, there's a lot of comics that are, you know, not oriented towards kids. But when you're trying to blur those lines is when I think it makes it weird.
Yeah. I'm not saying it is 100% weird. You're walking that line, man. That's what I'm saying. You're walking that line. Now, don't get me wrong. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Whatever. For me, it's just skirting that line a little bit, man. I don't know. It is what it is. But like I said, sex sells, and it will continue to sell. So, all right. Next book on the list. This is an interesting one. I've never seen this. Wonder Woman and the Star Riders promo.
Okay, so there apparently back in the early 90s, there was, I guess, like a toy line or something that was Wonder Woman and the Star Riders, which is like a female team or something like that. And they actually had a comic book that was what I call it, that I didn't even know about at all. What I tell you that was called, Brian?
Say that again?
There was Wonder Woman and the Star Riders versus Persia, Purrsia.
Yeah.
So there, and if you look that comic, that's like $100 comic book. This is like a promo or something, that I guess came out to try and promote the Star Riders or whatever. So inside it's got like, you know, like the like those costume design, the Marvel costume design covers. Like the inside of this is like all of that. So it's got like designs of all these Star Riders and stuff, and then Wonder Woman as well. I'm not really sure the physical size of this, like if it's like bigger or if it's smaller or what. I'm not really sure the size of this one. But from what I could tell, and I'm always really cautious on where these books come from. There was one seller that has sold 4 different copies of this in the last week, ranging in price from like $125 to $160. Now he may have found them all at the same time. I mean, they could have been stuck in a box somewhere and he found 4 of them, or, you know, but now there's none available. So, I don't necessarily think that I mean, maybe he was, I don't know, but, you know, it may have just been, like I said, he may have just found some old toy store or something like that had these sitting in a box or something like that, and he sold them all. But, yeah, I've never heard of Star Riders, but again, that little comic book that is out there too, like I said, it's $100 comic book, that I've never heard of. Yeah.
It's freaking interesting, dude. And this is again, you guys, I love promo books. Always have, always will. They're rare, usually tough to even find in any condition, let alone high grade, because they're just given away for free type stuff. So, you know, this is a cool book right here. You probably find it in some weird flea market, just sitting, you know, on a table next to a bunch of toys or something like that, you know. So,
AOA is saying that you guys were right. Promotional comic. It was distributed in cereal boxes.
Ooh.
That's even.
Thank
that's
you,
even
AOA.
more. So this was in the cereal boxes, or the comic was in the cereal boxes?
It says his comment says Wonder Woman and the Star Wars was a promotional comic distributed in Kellogg's cereal.
Okay, so those comics must have been the ones that were in the cereal. Gosh, can you imagine trying to find a high grade copy of that?
Oh yeah, man. No.
That seems like impossible if it was stuck in a sugar box.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting. All right. Next, how much did you say this was going for?
125 to 160.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. All right, next on the list, a badass Jonah Hex cover by the late great Darwin Cook. Jonah Hex, number 50, the Darwin Cook variant.
Yeah, this is just a 1 in 10. So it seems like it shouldn't be that difficult to find, but if you think about it, Legion of Superheroes or Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes was a 1 in 10 as well. So that's a $750 raw book that everybody wants. This cover is awesome. Darwin Cook actually did a bunch of covers for this Jonah Hex run, and they are excellent covers. This sold this week raw for $125. And you wouldn't necessarily think that this is not one that kind of looks like a variant, right? I mean, it just looks like a regular cover. And DC only did incentive variants for these Jonah Hex on maybe 4 or 5 issues out of the entire run. There's not many of them that are even incentive variants, or there's not even that many variants in this whole entire run. And I think it went to issue 60 something, maybe. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
That Jonah Hex run went to in the 60s or something, or maybe 70s. I'm not 100% sure, but
what year is this, Ben?
This would have been like 2011, maybe 2010, something like that.
So there's likely a newsstand out there somewhere.
70.
Yeah, I mean,
went to 70 issues.
70. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was like just pre New 52, because it's got that DC that I like that DC logo, to be honest. But,
Yeah.
I never thought that was a bad logo, but yeah, I love this cover. I think it's great. I've never found this book, and I probably won't if it's now 125. I'm probably not going to spend 125 on it, but I would love to find it for $10 or $20. But
there's some great
probably not gonna
covers
happen.
in that run period, man. Some really great covers. If you guys get a chance, just go take a look at the entire run, all the covers in the run. They are awesome, man. There's some really good ones.
Do you think that? Sorry. Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to say the A cover is a Darwin Cook for this issue 50, and it's a great cover itself.
Yeah. Man, there are some good covers in that run. Holy cow. 53. Like every other book, every other issue has a great cover in that second Jonah Hex run. Go check it out. 70 issues from 2006 to 2011. Man, that's awesome. Real quick, before we finish this, I want to go back to this, where some of the I want to shout out to Hockey, who says this version was given out to licensing partners in hopes the companies would make product to advertise the show, and then the mini comic was the one in cereal boxes. So very, very great information from the live chat tonight, and that's how we love this, you guys. That's why we love 225 live watching with us right now, so you guys can be part of the show and give us the information that we need on some of these rare books in the almost 10, man. Super, super cool. Awesome. All right, how much did you say again this one was selling for, the 1 in 10?
125.
Boom, there we go.
But if you can find any of those variants, and honestly, trying to find some of the regular issues too is sometimes really hard. I'm not like a huge Jonah Hex fan or anything like that, and I clearly I don't think many people are. But those covers they're excellent. They're just really, really good covers.
Yeah, I agree. All right, final book on the Almost 10 list this week. Scooby Apocalypse, number 36, the final issue. Right here.
This is a weird cover too.
Yeah, very weird.
Looks like he's sucking your soul out of her body.
Yeah, it's super weird. It's just a weird cover.
Ooh, shout out to Mrs. Horsecock Express, who just donated $4.99 through the super chat. We appreciate you, like always. Great community member, great name.
Thank you to the missus.
Thank you, Horsecock.
That's not a missus,
No.
but yeah, this is a weird one. I don't know. I've been noticing like several of these Scooby books, for whatever reason, I think they're just impossible to find. I don't even know if this was a good like read for like a Scooby-Doo book. This is kind of, there are some decent covers in this run. I don't think this is one of them. Now there is a B variant to this that's pretty hard. That's actually might be easier to find, or seems to be easier to find on eBay than this A cover. But this one sold this week for $36, which is a lot for a series that probably nobody really cares about. But yeah, I can't even look at that cover. It's just weird.
Yeah, Zombie Fred. Yeah. And all the zombies in the background, like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's just so weird.
I noticed that too. That's funny.
It's like a high school football game, and all his buddies are like, go kiss her, bro. James Kreider says, I actually have this. Definitely pick up every B cover you can in the run. There we go. So what would you say this was selling for?
$36 for this A cover. Now the B cover is selling for like $30. So yeah, it's.
I like what Liger said. He said it's just two lovers getting it on in a zombie apocalypse. Apocalypse. What's weird about that? It's awesome.
Thank you guys. We appreciate you. That is the Almost 10. And starting off with our honorable mention Golden Age issue this week, a great pulp, a very rare pulp. The Thrill Book, final issue right here from 1919, you guys. Absolutely amazing. Very rare book. What did this sell for this week, Ben?
Okay, yeah, this sold this week for $29,000 raw. Wow. In like, I would guess like probably like good to very good condition.
Wow. Chad,
yeah,
you're amazing, brother. Absolutely amazing. Chad Cave just dropped a $50 super chat.
Chad.
Man, dude. Yeah, dude. You freaking
Such a good
rock.
dude.
Yep. Nothing in the mail today, McClay. Appreciate these shows, fellas. I haven't checked yet, but I will check after the show, Chad. I got to walk over or drive over to it, so I will go take a look. Appreciate you, Chad. You're the best, man.
Chad is the man. Yeah.
Good dude.
Yeah, this thing is 100 years old. Then they used this. Basically, they copied this cover like 25 years later. I just drew a blank because I saw it when I was kind of trying to research this book a little bit, and they basically somebody reused this cover 25 years later. It was either in like a Spirit cover, or something from like the late 30s or something like that. Did you happen to see
Exorcist? Looks like Exorcist, kind of a little bit. I mean, it looks like Exorcist meets like Voodoo or something.
So the reason why this book is so rare is because at the time they put it out, there was a printer's strike, and it caused them to only print a few issues or copies before they had to stop printing because of the printer's strike. And because of the printer's strike, it caused them to basically go out of business. So, super, super rare book from October 1st, 1919, you guys. And pulps right now are going crazy, man.
Yeah, and Josh at International Comics said it was a Shadow book that they reused this cover for. So that's where it came from.
Wow. Holy cow. Jesus Christ, Chad. Gas money from McClay's trip to the mailbox. I can do this all day. We appreciate you, brother.
Chad.
You're awesome, Chad. All you guys, thank you. But Chad, man, thank you.
We appreciate you guys' support. Seriously, just you guys showing up in the live chat, hanging out with us is amazing. Whenever you guys, support us like this too, it's just absolutely amazing, and we can't thank you enough. Just so you guys know, every dime that you guys give us go right back into the show. This is how we do things, man. The amazing love that you guys show us just by hanging out and watching and subbing up is amazing, but this is unreal. So thank you, Chad.
Oh my gosh, that comment from Up the Down was hilarious.
Yeah, you can say he's not even drinking yet. Oh man!
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Degenerate said Chad just sold this book.
Chad's the one that sold this book. Yeah. Oh man,
that's funny.
Great. Wow, that's a lot of money, man, for not only the super chats but also this book. Jeez.
Yeah,
Louise.
and I'm just going to tell you, there are a few places that I've been to comic stores kind of all over this country, and there are a very, very select few that would even have pulps. So if you happen to go to Ohio, I actually somewhat close to me in Dayton, Ohio, is like the store that actually writes the book, like the Overstreet price guide. There is a price guide for pulps that gives all the stuff on pulps. Well, that store is actually in Dayton, Ohio, and they still sell pulps there. So I'm actually fortunate to have a store that not only sells them, but is kind of like they're the ones like you go to Heritage Auctions and it'll say the Bookery price guide says this about this book. That is a store in Dayton, Ohio. So if you ever do get to Dayton, Ohio, and are like really interested in pulps, that is the store that you would go to.
Wow, that's awesome. You're gonna have to go in there and do a little video on it. So shout out to the Cosmic One who just dropped another super chat for us. He says, best show on YouTube. Thanks, guys. Oh, man. Thank you, guys. You guys, we can't thank you enough for just, like I said, supporting us. It's amazing. And we're going to continue to do this show as long as we continue having fun and you guys continue having fun and you guys enjoy it. We're going to continue doing it. And I also want to say real quick, thank you to everybody that has been giving us the amazing response to how the shows have been lately, the content, the look of the shows. And I also want to say thank you to everybody that's been giving the great constructive criticism on what we can do better. Hopefully in the short future, I will be updating the chat boxes to have bigger words on there so more people can see them. So, yeah, absolutely amazing. Yeah, you guys freaking rule. Seriously. Decor drops the $5 super chat.
Decor.
I ain't got it like Chad. I can only do it for like 2 minutes, then I'm out. We appreciate you, brother. That's what
now
I'm
we can buy
about.
some more comic books.
Comic books. All right. Next on the Hot 10 list, our final honorable mention this week. Another great honorable mention here, a Veronica number 197 for all you Archie fans out there. Dan Parent continuing the move with people buying his covers up like crazy.
Yeah, and this one's kind of a cool one. So this one actually had two different sales this week. One was a direct edition, one was a newsstand. And most of these Archies have newsstands out there because that was a big thing for Archies for a long time. I don't think they still have our newsstands, do they?
2010. I don't think so. But somebody had a conversation when we were on Flipside about this, but I'll have to retouch on it. 2010 for this book, and I think the original one was like less than 3,000 distributed.
Jesus!
Or
Shout out
newsstand?
Real quick to the Comic Chef, who dropped another super chat. 999 super chat said, "I'm at work and enjoy the show while I'm at work. Great show, fellas." That's awesome, and that makes it even better. I want to say thank you to all you guys that are out there working while watching this. We get a lot of comments of you guys that are doing it, and either you guys saying that you're enjoying it while you're there, or you're going to catch it afterwards. Man, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys, big time. Yeah, this is. I remember there was a lot of talk about this book back in the day for some reason. Yeah, James says no outrage, a teenager in a bikini. Just saying. Oh, again, she is a teenager, but I get it. I understand the criticism there.
I do wish that they would just age the Archie series to college age, like just age them up like 3 years, just to take the weirdness out of it. And obviously, if they did this where she had no top on, then it would be a big no for me. That would be a big no go. But yeah, this one sold twice. Again, $50 for the direct, $60 for the newsstand.
Well, shit, you might as well get the newsstand if it's that cheap.
I would,
Well,
my guess is the newsstand was probably in not as, the condition was probably maybe a factor in that as well. From what I've seen, most of the Archie newsstands are not in great condition. They struggle. It's really hard to find high grade newsstands of a lot of the Archie books.
Comicron's saying 2,200. So yeah, the newsstand. I mean, that's got to be not that many.
Yeah, for sure. All right, on to the top 10 books on the secondary market this week, as brought to you by the one and only Ben Stein. Number 10 this week, a great old school Neil Adams. I think Neil Adams help get this book published by Continuity Graphics. This is Echo of the Future Past, number 1. Love this series. A great series. Neil Adams had a big part of this series. Also early Arthur Sidem art in this series. I believe this is an Arthur Sidem cover or it's a Neil Adams cover, one of the two, but there's a lot of Arthur Sidem art in it. But this one is special because it has the first appearance of Bucky O'Hare by Larry Hama. So
yeah, and I'm hoping that somebody in the chat can help me out here. This, as well as Bucky O'Hare number 1, there was a bunch of sales on both of these books this week. I tried to look on the internet to see if I could, I tried to Google it, try and figure out if there was something going on. I didn't see anything. So if somebody knows something that's new on this, I mean, this is from what, 80? This is probably from like late
early
80s or something like that.
Early 80s, if I remember correctly.
Early 80s, okay.
I believe so.
Yeah, and then the Bucky O'Hare number 1 was probably early 90s or something like that. Probably when the cartoon came out, something like that. But yeah, this was selling for like 20 to 25. Now it's selling for like 40 to 50. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I don't know why.
I feel like we talked about this one before, right? Didn't we?
I don't remember talking
No?
about this one.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right.
Wow, look who's in the chat, you guys. Shout out to Chloe's Comic Swag, who says, hey, I got that one in 9.8. You got everything you got in a 9.8, brother. By the way, if you guys
Shocking.
haven't seen it, we did a great little IG spotlight on Chloe's Comic Swag on Modern Comic Mayhem, I believe 2 weeks ago. One of the best, if not the best, comic book IG channels there is, and absolutely amazing stuff. And we definitely want to try and get you on the channels at some point if you're down, brother. We'd love to hear you talk about your collection and your great IG channel. But if you guys haven't had the chance, go check out Chloe's Comic Swag on IG. Just amazing stuff. There was a cartoon of Bucky O'Hare back in the day, right?
Uh-huh.
Up the Down 7 says, on Monday, Kevin Feige confirmed that Bucky O'Hare will also be in the Captain America New World Order. Oh, awesome. Excellent. I don't think that's real. I don't think that's real.
No, that's fake.
Oh, gosh, Liger. Really?
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, but you know what is funny? Where he says Bucky O'Hare nude cover coming soon, it wouldn't even surprise me anymore. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Up the Down 7 was right, Chad says. The wife/accountant said I cannot do that all day. So, what is this selling for again?
It was 20 to 25. Now it's like 40 to now it's 40 to 50.
Wow. Very, very cool. Yeah, definitely check it out. You'll love it. We appreciate you either way. All right, let's move on to number 9 this week. Here we go. If you think we were going to get a little kickback on what we were talking about earlier, it's coming now. At number 9, Battle Chasers number 1, the famous Red Monica, another universe.com variant. The non-gold foil version, there is a gold foil version of this where the little tattoo on her butt is gold foil. This is a classic variant by the great Joe Madureira. Great series, Battle Chasers, created by Joey Madureira. He also did a video game for it. This was his pride and joy for a long time, and this is one of the very first variants I remember back in the day.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This again, I know. Battle Chasers got hot like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, something like that.
Yep.
And because there was something that came out about it, right?
Live action from the creators of John Wick was putting it together.
Something, but I've never heard anything since. But this week, this thing sold for a CGC 9.6 sold for $230. CGC 9.8 sold for $325 and $90 raw after it basically kind of dropped way back. And I hate this cover more than I can possibly tell you. The physics on this thing just don't. I don't even know what that thing is underneath her chin. I can't figure.
Yeah,
it doesn't even make sense.
I agree.
I'm looking at that. Is that her arm? What is that?
It's definitely a squished boob that doesn't look good.
It doesn't even make. It looks like her arm.
It looks like her shoulder. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's terrible. Awful cover. I hate this cover more than I could seriously possibly tell you.
Did you become like heavy core Christian over the week or what?
This cover is so bad. I hate this cover, but I've always hated this cover because it just doesn't look right. Like I'm sitting there like, what is she doing?
Yeah, it's very weird. I agree with you. I agree, but most people don't even look at that part of the comic, so they don't even notice it until somebody says something. So everybody can thank Stein for turning a much beloved cover into a much hated cover. So
hey, it's kind of like the Teen Titans 75 hues. Once you see the man hand, you can't see anything else. It's over.
Yeah, you're right. Radamaz says worse than the cat boobs. Well, the cat boobs was never on a cover, but if it was, I think it would. I don't think anything could be worse than that. So, but yeah, this is a crazy, crazy book. Even when it came out, it was a major, hot book at the time, and it goes up in value.
So, and maybe you can tell me this. So, is this actually even a first appearance? Because wasn't there was a Zero issue, and then there was a preview issue, and then there was a cliffhanger issue, right?
Yep. They did a bunch of stuff. And there's actually even a preview in a Frazetta magazine issue with a variant cover where the Battle Chasers are on that issue of the Frazetta magazine. So there's a lot of cool things to find if you're a Battle Chasers fan. And there's a lot of Battle Chasers fans out there. It's a cool idea. And I think especially nowadays with the whole idea of like MMO, massive multiplayer online games and stuff, it's kind of got that same play of Dungeons and Dragons and World of Warcraft and that type of stuff. So I could see it being something, interesting in the future. So
yeah, I mean, they did the same thing with Danger Girl, right? Mm-hmm. They did the 0 and then the 1 or vice versa, and then they did the cliffhanger. Yeah,
because like the first appearance of Danger Girl is not in a. I mean, like it's not even in a Danger Girl book, right?
Yeah, it's in a preview, isn't there?
Yeah, it's like or maybe it is like that's like a preview of the Danger Girl.
Yeah.
They did such weird things back then. The Image did, but
Top Cow, Image, Awesome, all those Image subsidiaries did all the weird stuff, man. So there's a preview of the preview Ashcan. Yeah, a preview of the preview of the preview. That's funny, dude. That's real funny. All right. Chad Cave just says, just looked up the Manhand issue. They're asking $1,600 for 9.8. That Teen Titans 75 is a rare book, man. That's a rare, tough book to find.
But you can't unsee the hand. Once you see it, cannot unsee it.
No. All right, number 8, you guys. Just a 100% slam dunk of a spec play this week. Mandalorian number 8, the Terry Dodson 1/50 Grogu variant. Like this is a slam dunk. If you saw this on the rack in your local comic shop and it was at least reasonably priced and you didn't pick it up, man, you missed out.
I have not seen. I forgot that Mandalorian came out this week.
Yep.
It's really good.
Was it good?
It's slower than usual, but it's good.
Yeah,
really good.
Maybe is it? I mean, are they just trying to catch up? Like because it's been a while.
There's a couple new things. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, of course, but yeah, they're definitely. I mean, at least what I've gotten, there are going to be some pathways open to some new characters. That's what it looks like to me, because he's, based on the last season when he spoke to, I forgot her name, because he took his helmet off. He's going to Mandalore because he wants to be forgiven of his transgressions.
Yeah,
so
atone for his sins. So.
So this one's selling for slightly above what the ratio is. It's selling for like 50 to 60. I mean, again, it's still. I think these is the comic still just basically just repeating what's in the show?
Yes.
Like there's not.
Yes.
Yes. So I wish they would have done something different, like had stuff in between seasons, or
that's what Brian said. Brian said the same exact thing when number 1 came out. I remember.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird, but yeah, Brian's right. I mean, now maybe you can answer this or not. Do you think that Grogu's appeal is gonna at some point, like he's not necessarily that. Like initially, like the first season, he was like super cute, and now he's not necessarily cute anymore, right?
Nah, he's cuter than ever in this one.
Yeah,
he reminded me of my dog. Actually, I was like, "Holy shit!" He reminds me of Frankie, my Yorkie. Like he's cooing a lot because cooing like,
Yeah.
like mumbling
Baby
or whatever.
talk.
He plays around. He's using the Force. He just seems like more of like before he seemed really young and quiet, but now he seems like he's like a 11 or 12-year-old. Like he's advanced a little bit. And even Mandalorian, what's the Mandalorian's name? Djarin. Yeah, he even says to somebody that he's just a kid. So
Yeah.
it's a good one. It's good. I recommend everybody watching it.
Up to Down says, let's take a poll, see how many people in the chat have watched the episode. Can we do polls in the chat?
Yes.
I think so.
Let me take a look here. Let me go set this up. All right, let's go over here.
Liger.
There's supposed to be a place where I can do a poll, and I'm trying to find it. I can't find it, damn it. Oh, right here. Start a poll. Okay. Have you seen Mando yet? All right. There we go. Have you seen Mando yet? Let us know, you guys. And we will find out. Okay. See some people saying they paid ratio for it, which I think that probably if there isn't very many more Grogu covers like this in the future, because there's really isn't any Grogu covers like this, right? I mean, this
you mean
is the
like
first
solo
one.
covers?
Yeah.
Like yeah,
a ratio variant also, So I think this could be a great play in the future. The problem is, like you said, that it's just it's not new material on the inside, which is a bummer. So that's why the covers are so important. Yeah, a toddler in his 50s.
I mean, looking at the comments, it looks like everybody liked the first episode. So I just haven't had a chance to watch it, but I will probably this weekend. I'll try and catch up.
Yeah. Oops. I just gave you guys a quick avert your eyes. Avert your eyes. You guys didn't see that. You guys saw nothing. You guys did not see.
Where does the poll pop up? Does it pop up in the chat?
Yeah, it pops up in the chat. I'm gonna go.
I see it.
We are at 56% yes right now. 56% yes.
Where do I not see that?
It's in the YouTube chat, not
chat.
Not the.
I know I'm on the
chat.
YouTube on my phone. I'm looking over here at my phone, and I don't see it.
Huh.
It should be right there in the middle.
Yeah. Interesting.
I guess it doesn't like me.
Maybe it doesn't.
Oh, maybe because maybe no, because you can see it, right, Brian?
Yeah, but I'm not on my phone. I'm on my computer.
Oh well, it's not the big deal, I guess.
Yeah, Tony says life-size variant cover. Yeah, that's great. That's excellent.
I like Dotson. I think Dotson's underrated. A lot of people don't really talk about him, but he comes out with some covers that are just wow. I like this one. This one catches for me.
Yeah.
I've never really had a problem with Dotson stuff. He's got some really good covers. That She-Ra cover, or that She-Ra cover that he did. That's a great cover. Expensive, but he's got a lot of good covers. There was a Daredevil cover that he did that was really nice. But I think he's just kind of, nobody really pays that much attention to Dotson.
Yeah. 57% on the poll has seen it. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. I don't know why. Let's see here if it, there we go. Yeah, 57%. That's excellent. Very cool. All right. Next, at number 7 this week, another Star Wars book. Star Wars The High Republic, The Blade, issue number 3, the 1 in 25 Linnell Francis Yu variant. I will say this. I am one of the biggest Linnell Francis Yu fans. But when he's not doing the X-Men, man, sometimes he can fall, his stuff doesn't look that great. And his Star Wars covers are not good, in my opinion. And I hate to say that because I'm such a big fan of his.
Totally agree.
His Star Wars covers are not good, in my opinion.
Yeah, and this one's. I agree with you. This one's not. Well, I mean, maybe it is. Like, I guess the more I look at it, and I don't know who are these characters.
New characters for the new Jedis for the
These are new
show.
Jedis.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I mean if that I don't know. I guess that's what they look like. I mean, or like I said, I don't really know.
Yeah, the Hellboy look
Much.
on the one guy.
He does look like Hellboy for sure, but any Richie, anything specific in this book that any first appearances?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking for something. I'm looking for the first appearance of the female character, but I guess I must have clicked off of it. But no, I mean, there are always first appearances, and this feels like in these Marvel Star Wars High Republic run. I don't know about you guys, but I mean maybe a few of them in between. But this book was catching the day before New Comic Book Day. It dropped in a few sites on the retailer level online. It sold out quick, but I don't have. Let's see. I for some reason I can't find it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a first appearance. But double check, of course.
High
I thought
Republic.
initially when I first saw the cover, I thought that girl was one of the albino twins from
Here it is. I found it.
from the Matrix.
Porter Angle is the main guy. The Blade of Bardota is what it's
Auckland
called.
Viz, right? Auckland Viz, Auckland, or no? Is that not it?
And then the girl is Barish Sylvain, who is the sister of
Yes.
Porter. Yeah, and she first appears in issue number 1. And I don't know where Porter first appears. Does any Star Wars people in there that know where? Let me take a look.
Porter Angle, his origin is in here.
Yeah, his first appearance. Let's see here.
His next man. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
John Burns.
His first appearance looks like Star Wars: The High Republic #1. They're saying so. That is his first appearance, I guess.
Okay.
Star Wars: The High Republic, the Blade #1. That's what.
Yeah, usually I'd be ready for that, but I have not been interested in comics this week. But I'm just kind of winging it here. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, this character is not the greatest character in my opinion either.
Looks like Hellboy.
Yeah. So. Yeah, very interesting. All right, what did you say this was selling for?
This one is selling for like 40 plus.
It's a 1 in 25, right?
1 in 25, correct.
That's not bad.
And his first appearance from Bryan is High Republic Adventures Annual #1. So there we go.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Appreciate that. So, first appearance of a shitty cover of the week. Yeah. It's not a great cover, but it is selling. It is selling. Hey, that's one of the things. Listen, you guys, there has been some crazy drama for your mama lately about harshing on top 10 lists and how top 10 lists are terrible and this and that, and all they do is cause people to promote FOMO.
Yeah.
And listen, you guys, if you guys are getting FOMO of this book after what we just said, you have a problem. You have a problem. Like, why would you get FOMO of a book that we just said that for the most part it's terrible? It doesn't look good. It's bad. So I think that's what's so great about what Stein does is there's no ulterior motives on anything that he does. He's for the most part, and he says it almost every week, that he has hardly any of these books that are on the list every week. There's no reason for Stein to come out here and put books on this list for you guys to go FOMO out over, especially a book like this. So, yeah, it is.
And guess what? I'm not a seller either. So you can't sit there and accuse me of pushing books that I want to sell because I don't sell books. So that's a stupid argument too. If you don't know who I am and if you don't know what I'm doing, then just keep your mouth shut. If you have to revert to cursing at me and calling me names, then that shows your intelligence. So
yeah. I agree.
I said that on a Modern Comic Mayhem. Brian thought of a really cool segment. I think we're going to run with it right now.
Yeah,
The drama
comic
corner.
book drama alert.
And we brought this up on our inaugural launch of that segment, and one of my replies was, I think a lot of people, and I'll just repeat it to you guys if you didn't see it, but I think a lot of people truly don't understand what Ben is trying to do here. He is just reporting what is trending on the secondary market when it comes to this stuff. He is not recommending you buy, invest, or anything like that. So, just so you know.
Hey, I think I get more, especially from the people who the people who are really loyal and watch this a lot, watch this every week. I think they get more tired of me making fun of these books than pumping them up. Most of the time, I'm telling how terrible this is. So
Yeah.
it makes no sense. Like the whole premise of people and what they say, it just shows us people are just like talking. All they want is talking points. They have nothing to back any of this stuff up. So who knows? I mean, yeah, right. T. Jones. Some people take comics way too seriously. This is supposed to be fun. The whole thing is supposed to be fun. Sometimes I love to join in and buy something that I probably shouldn't buy, but it's fun. And that's okay. You know what? Sometimes I play cards and I play for money, and that's okay if I lose $50, $100. No big deal. That's entertainment for me. It doesn't. I'm not putting my life savings in comic books.
Yep.
If you are, then yes, you should probably not be buying some of these books. But it's fun. It's fun to talk about these books. It's fun to talk about new books. It's fun to talk about old books. Hard to find books. It's fun to talk about them. I mean, I don't understand what is wrong. What is wrong with that?
Chloe's
And only
Comic
saying-
Swag with the $9.99 super chat says, I love these top 10s. People say FOMO because it's cool to say. They're just chasing. Amen. Appreciate you, brother. Amen. So, all right. Let's move on to number 6 this week. My favorite book on the
I
list.
knew this was going to be your favorite. I knew it.
My favorite book on the list. And it makes me feel good to see this book sell because I do own, this is one of the few books I own on the list this week in a 9.8. I have probably 4 copies of this book because I am always.
What?
I do. I'm always on the lookout for this book.
What?
At number 6, G.I. Joe issue number 21, the special Renegar foil edition, an amazing Michael Turner cover that has Storm Shadow versus Snake Eyes, and it is a homage. The whole book is an homage to the original issue 21 from G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero by Marvel, where it's an all-silent issue, first appearance of Storm Shadow, and this is such an amazing book, such an amazing cover. There's a non-foil edition. There is the foil edition. There are multiple covers for this issue. There's a great J. Scott Campbell cover for this. There's a connecting Mike Zeck variant for this. Great books. This was one of my favorite series of all time, and I just love it, man. I love it. So at number 6, G.I. Joe issue 21.
I figured that you had one. I had no idea that you had 4 of these because I've never found this book. I've looked forever. I've never found this foil cover. Now, was the foil cover, was that an exclusive or was
Graham
that
Crackers, both Renegar editions. The Renegar editions were exclusive to Graham Crackers, I believe, and the foil, it was even more exclusive to the foil edition. By foil, you could see it's just on the G.I. Joe trade up top. It's foil. Here's the thing: there's also air stamped books where the foil is offset, so it looks pretty bad, and I have one of those also. So be on the lookout for the offset stamped editions of these. This is back when Michael Turner was just at his highest. It was just amazing. He did multiple covers for this run. So did J. Scott Campbell. Joe Benitez did some great covers for this run. This is, like I said, one of my favorite runs. Image/Devil's Due Publications. Shout out to Tim Seeley and Josh Blaylock, who just did such an amazing job on this run. Great stuff. As you guys know, G.I. Joe is just pure nostalgia for me. I see any G.I. Joe character, I see the G.I. Joe, trade image, anything that reminds me of G.I. Joe, I instantly get that warm nostalgia feeling of being a kid again. And man, this is such a great book. How much did this sell for this week?
2 separate sales. A CGC 9.6 sold for $800, which was an all-time high, and a CGC 9.8 sold for $1,200, which is not I don't believe is an all-time high, but it's the highest since in a very, very long time.
Wow, absolutely amazing. That's great. Yeah, man, tough book to find. Where is Graham Cracker's Comics located? I'm just waiting for the
Chicago.
Chicago.
There's one in Chicago. There's one over by me, and it's like 5 or 6 locations. But they're the two main one. The main one is in Chicago, Illinois. I think it's called Plainville.
There are a ton. There's at least 6 locations in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
So I want to say real quick, shout out to Airboy the Barbarian for the $5 super sticker. Appreciate that. And if you are in Chicago area, start looking for these books. Not only is there this book, there's also a G.I. Joe America's Elite variant where it's an homage to the Captain America cover where he's punching Hitler, and in the America's Elite variant, it's Snake Eyes hitting Cobra Commander, and there's also a foil issue of that. There's also the issue with the what's that character that in G.I. Joe, I'm spacing on his name, that he can go invisible, and it's also a Michael Turner cover in this run. There's a foil edition for that also. I think that's like issue 23 or something like that. So,
and these are all done by Graham Crackers?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they did variants until like last year when you guys mentioned it.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they're sitting right over here on this table. I was just going through them the other day. Yeah, great stuff. Wraith. Thank you, Brad Selden. There's the Wraith variant by Michael Turner that also has a foil version too. So if you're in the Chicago area, you can find those rare graham cracker variants out there. The reason I know that is because I've had people who live in the Chicago area tell me that. So be on the lookout.
And I can tell you, I've been to Chicago over the past 3 years probably 20 times. James says there's 3 in Chicago. I thought there was more, but I could be wrong. I know I've been to all the different locations. There are some outside of the city. Like somebody said, there's one in Bolingbrook. I think that's correct. There are some that are farther out. One of the other places in the Chicago area that you can find graham crackers is at the Half Price Books, because people have bought them from graham crackers in the area and then basically purged them to Half Price Books. So make sure you check the Half Price Books in Chicago area. I have found, not this one, but I have found other graham cracker variants in the Chicago area at the Half Price Books there.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great tip right there, you guys. Seriously, if you live in that area, take that tip for it's worth that tip is worth a lot right there. So, love this book. Love Michael Turner. I've said this before too. Michael Turner passed away way too early. He actually passed away from the same type of rare bone cancer that my brother survived. It's a very rare form of bone cancer, osteosarcoma, and very, very sad that we lost him when we did. He was, just hotter than ever doing the Supergirl stuff, and back then in the mid 2000s, it was a type of cancer that they didn't have a very good record of beating. And luckily nowadays they can. And the sad part about osteosarcoma is that it happens for the most part in young kids. So thank God for our amazing medicine these days and what we can do and what we've learned. Hopefully sooner than later it will be cheaper than it is. But that being said, great stuff. Go check out Michael Turner if you guys don't know much about him. He is one of the greatest comic book artists ever. All right, at number 5 this week, a new book on the list this week, Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man, number 5. an amazing cover right here. Just great. Kind of weird that they're doing Demon Bear in Spider-Man, right? Isn't Demon
It is a
Bear
new cover.
like a New Mutants X-Men villain?
Well, I mean, obviously it's out of continuity, so I guess it's the variant of the character.
Oh,
I don't know if it's not the actual 616 version.
oh, it's not.
No, because in this book, in the guts of this book, what's her name? Her first appearance was in issue 1. Crystal Katawani's new character. She becomes Dream Spider in this book, and the design on this spider character is super cool. They started talking about this April of 2022. They just didn't know where they were going to drop her. And then this book came out, and then all of a sudden she drops in a couple weeks ago in Deadly Spider-Man 5, and the book went crazy out of nowhere. I remember Manny hitting me up, or I think he DM'd me on IG. He's like, do you know why friendly Spider-Man neighborhoods are not friendly, but Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man's going number 5 is going crazy? I'm like, what? So I went on eBay and I checked, and I saw the copies flying off, and I couldn't find it anywhere, and I just didn't know. And then I found out that her first was in this book. So yeah, this is cool, but not in continuity. Just if you guys are snobs like that, just to let you know, it's not 616. It's Earth. It's one of the Spider-Verse.
This is one of the best covers of the week, and there are some killer covers this week.
Yeah. So Funhouse said this is a Razak cover.
It looks like Raza, so he might be onto something there.
Cool. That's good information. I didn't look to see who the cover artist was. And this is only 5 issues. This is the last issue, right? There's not.
Yeah,
right. It's just a mini series.
It might be a 5 or 6 mini. Yeah, so I would imagine 5 is probably it. We'll see. I don't know.
Did it come out this week or last week?
Last week. No, February.
Okay.
February.
Yeah, last week.
Okay, yeah. Last week. Yeah. Let me look it up real quick.
But last week it was only selling for cover price until last weekend. So
and the word got around, and then all of a sudden it started going crazy.
Yeah.
Ferreira, is it Ferreira that's the cover artist on this? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's Raza. It is Raza. It is Raza. Yes, Raza. You're right. Raza.
I think Ferreira's doing the sketches in the guts.
Yeah, he's doing the guts. You're right. Man, that's a beautiful cover. Holy cow.
But check out the character. I think it's one of my favorites.
I love it.
It's just Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man and stuff, but man, some of these characters just that get too you can't even tell them apart. Like what they did with Spider-Man in India for Into the Spider-Verse 2, aka Beyond the Spider-Verse, they completely did an overhaul. I'm not saying to be that drastic, but it wasn't the worst idea, and I like how they did this one. So, kudos.
Yeah, very cool. How much is it going for again?
20 to 25, and you can see Zombie said he sold a 5-pack for 22 a piece. So
wow, that's amazing.
Blood Sausage. Miles is in the 616. He comes from 1610.
There we go. All right, at number 4 this week. Oh, here we go. Something is killing the children. Number 5 at number 4 this week. Some first appearances in this issue, and now that Something Killing the Children is back as a hot book. It was cold as ice for almost, felt like a year, maybe 6 months to a year. It was just super cold, and man, has it been injected with some heat right now.
Yeah, and I believe this is the lowest print run of any of the Something is Killing the Children books. This one got hot there for a while. It was selling for $100. It was really expensive for a number 5 issue. First of all, it's a great cover. This cover is amazing. Now it is selling for $220 raw, and a CGC 9.6 sold for $280. This is a monster.
Yeah,
it's a monster book.
Yeah, wow.
This is selling more than the number 2 issue.
Yeah, which is crazy. Shout out to Uniform 13, who drops a super chat. I'm waiting for it to pop up so I can read it to you guys here. Once it does, I'll put it on the screen. StreamYard's being a little slow right now.
There's about, I think, 5,000 of those local comic shop day foils. So I wonder if those and then that 8th print will start moving eventually. Because you know how like it just goes through the ripple effect with this shit. I still like Brian and I were talking about last week. I don't know if it was on this show or on MCM, but a good buy if you guys are. I mean, even before the show, I checked. A good buy is that Jay Lee open to order variant, and then he also did a sketch. It's like a black and white. It's the only cover of all the first print issue number ones that have his little or her little sock puppet, what's her name, Octo, on the cover. His first cover appearance, even though it's Cammy on the guts, it's the only cover. You will not see that character on the cover again until I think it's like the 4th print. So be aware. And it's going for 100 or less still. Raw. So
Uniform 13 says, spend this fiat garbage money on some silver, guys. Add some bars and coins next year. Comic stacks. Amen. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Appreciate you, Uniform 13. Man.
Yeah, and then somebody said this is the lowest printed. And was it Manny that said that? I was trying to go back. Yeah, Manny said this one also had no additional printing. So this was the only printing, and it was the lowest print run of any of the issues. So it's got like 2 different things going for it.
Yeah, I love that. Great comments. All right. How much did you say it was selling for again?
$220 raw, and
wow.
a CGC 9.6 sold for $280.
Jeez. Wow. John Longshot says, I have this in a 9.8. Might be time to put it up for sale, my friend. It might be time. All right.
You know what? You know what's funny though? This cover is so great. I mean, I just and I didn't even notice it. Somebody made the comment that they love how she is on this side of the trade dress and the monster is on the other side of the trade dress.
Yeah.
It's like it's super subtle, but it's just an awesome looking cover.
Yeah, I agree. All right, at number 3 this week, you guys, Contest of Champions at number 1, another Linnell Francis Yu 1/25 variant. This is the first appearance of White Fox and also her first cover appearance.
Yeah, and she's on a couple of the other covers as well.
Ron connecting, and is she on cover A? Because it's like I remember the background kind of has like these character bodies, like kind of standing out.
Yeah, something. Did you guys? Is there some kind of White Fox news or something?
Well, the news with Steven Yeun, it might have ignited it because of the Swordmaster stuff, and then Taigoki, and she's a part of Tiger Division. That's what I'm guessing. But then remember, there was a rumor that came out that a few reliable sources and then a lot of unreliable sources are running with that Sentry as the character, but nothing's confirmed. Those are just rumors.
Okay. I mean, this one got really, really hot when everybody was buying all that White Fox stuff, and then it kind of dropped back. But yeah, this week it's basically back up to $100 raw, and a 9.8 sold for $850, which is that doesn't go right with. I mean, one of them is either underpriced or overpriced because it still doesn't. I still go, especially on modern books. 9.8 should be about 2.5 to 3x what like near mint raw copies sell for. This one's obviously 8.5x, so something is skewed on either the raw copies or the CGC, unless this was like one of the books that had like rub or something like that. They were all damaged or something like that. Then it can kind of skew the numbers on 9.8s, but I don't remember if this one had like printer issues or anything on that.
2015. I'm not sure.
There's that other great White Fox book that Jersey to the Bay is referencing, where she's doing this, and there's a Virgin variant for that too. So
was that the white or the like the one shot or whatever, that real thick book, the White Fox.
I don't remember which one it is. I have one. I just don't remember which one.
With Tiger Division or
It's just her on the cover, and it's I think it's a Inhook Lee cover, and she's like doing this. Yeah.
That was recent. Yeah. I got.
That's a great cover too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Inhook Lee is really good at doing these South Pacific Asia characters. Really good.
Yeah. Yep. Good stuff. All right, you guys. 2 more to go on the list this week. At number 2, another Something is Killing the Children book and a Comics Pro variant. This is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 27 from the Comics Pro convention. Just came out last week, and Virgin cover, very interesting with that. What is that thing on her, that eyeball? I don't read Something's Killing the Children, so I don't know about that thing.
Which thing?
The thing on her stomach there.
She didn't have that. I read the first story arc. I didn't pick it up after the first story arc, but I don't remember her having an eyeball on her stomach.
Yeah.
But it's been a while since I've read
That's
it.
new.
So.
That's not that is new.
Well, that eyeball is on another cover, I remember. It's on another variant or something. I just didn't know it was on her.
So did like Something is Killing the Children like combine with like Lord of the Rings or something, and it's like the
Cyclops.
It's creepy how it has the teeth too. That's just creepy looking, man. Ugh. So.
Oh, Liger said it's just on the cover.
Okay. Right.
Oh, maybe she's got like maybe she got like a cricket for Christmas, and she printed out a cool T-shirt that has an eyeball on it, and that's what it is.
Or she's got a stomach tat. She looks like she has a virus or something.
Yeah,
turning into a symbiote.
For anybody who, because I've never been to a Comics Pro, how many of these do they hand out? And do you have to go to like a specific room that that's only talking about that to get it?
Yes. No. I think they have them all set up, and I think you walk and everybody that's there can get like one of each book. I think, if that makes sense.
So you can get all the variants just by being there?
Whatever ones that you want. Yeah, I believe so. I was lucky enough to get the Blue Book Comics Pro variant, which is an Inhook Lee cover, which I really, really wanted. Shout out to Vinny. Vinny did go to Comics Pro. He did pick up a couple of the variants, and I think that's what he said. I think that there's just like a room where you go and you walk around and they're on tables and you just grab whatever ones you want. So, but I could be wrong there. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't really know either. All I know is this one, of all the Comics Pro that came out from this year, this one's selling for the highest. This one's selling for 100. There's some other decent variants out of there, but this one's definitely selling for the most. Unless there's some random one that I haven't seen yet.
David Morley says it's not her, it's a monster, a duplicate of her. So there you go.
Oh, so that's why she's got the crazy eye as well.
Yeah.
So it's her first appearance of a variant kind of character? Different version?
Don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah. Sands Group Collectibles says, only good Something is Killing Children is 1 through 15. Pass on all the late issues.
Be aware on issue 12, there was a really pretty major printing error in the guts of issue 12 and a few of the covers, I believe. And that was that was estimated or projected to be the largest print run the week of FOC, close to 90K. They reprinted all of those books. There's a lot of them out there, so be aware.
This is crazy. Jersey to the Bay says, Inhook Lee recently injured his drawing arm in an accident. He was told not to use his arm for a month. It's on his IG.
I wonder if it's insured, his arm.
He should insure it, man.
Don't pitchers do that, right?
And kickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Brady insured his throwing arm, right? For a
Yeah,
grip.
that's where. Okay, that's where I heard
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah. So, well, you know what I say about that? I say I'm not going to say good, but I'm going to say this. Inhook Lee has been doing a lot of covers recently, and you know what happened when Peach Momoko started doing a ton of covers. So maybe it's good to take a little bit of a break. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, Comics Pro variant on the list. At number 1 this week, the book that everybody was talking about, asking what is going on here. Stargirl, The Lost Children, issue number 4. This is the Todd Knock 1 in 25 variant. I saw the regular issue on tons of social media posts asking what's going on. Why is everybody going crazy for this book?
It's got to be just because it's a number 4 of Stargirl and it's a 1 in 25, right? I mean, it's a cool cover. I mean, it's a nice,
Throwback.
it looks like something. Yeah, it looks like something from the Silver Age. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's selling for 100 plus. I don't know. What is this? What is this story even? I mean, I'm assuming Stargirl is trying to find lost kids or something. Not the kids that were killed in something is killing the children, but other lost kids. I don't know. Maybe the Little Mermaid in risque, bathing suits. I don't know.
I think
What are
the
they trying
book's
to
going
find?
crazy because I was talking about it on Hump Day Hero. No, I'm kidding. No, I did mention this, but just I think I don't know. I was saying it on MCM. I think maybe Flash stuff is just going crazy, and combined with a pop culture favorite character story, and it's got that golden age look, and it's something different. I just don't imagine there's that many out there. I mean, this has got to be a tiny orders by retailers, right?
Yeah,
Don't
Patrick
know.
says there's no first appearances. There were first appearances in the first 3 issues, but nothing in this one.
Yeah.
Lost kids are forgotten sidekicks. Okay. Why is she is that supposed to be her dressed as Flash, or I'm
Yeah.
so confused. I don't even know. I can't figure out what's going on.
Don't know.
Well, it looks like to me because the open to order variant is she's like reading this Flash comic. I don't know what issue it is, and then maybe this is like I don't know. I'm not even gonna guess. Forget about it. But I just remember, Go ahead.
Yeah. John Horn said cover A for this issue is her holding this comic.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So at the open to order or cover A, she's reading it, and her eyes are like above the comic like that. Now this is the comic. This is just the actual.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. They kind of did that. I like when they do that type of thing. That's why I like the regular A cover. It reminds me of there was that DC book back in the day. It was an event, and it was like and it had the comic on the cover, the old school comic on the cover. Fringe did that, I think, a couple of times. Like, I love when they have the comics in the movie or in the show, and it's almost like a fourth wall or type thing. So very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's part of. It says this issue retells many events of DC's history, including Flashpoint. And there is a first appearance in here, but it doesn't look like a major character.
Cool. It is some of Todd Knock's best stuff because it definitely doesn't look like Todd Knock. That's for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
This isn't the only Todd Knock book we've had on this list today, right? Didn't we have one more?
I was talking about his Cosmic Ghost Rider book the other day.
Okay, got
it. Yeah. So
definitely one of the best head variant Knock. Yeah, good point. Yeah. And there's a new Cosmic Ghost Rider in there, just to let you know. New moniker holder.
Very cool.
Okay, so like the chat is inspiring me. I am 100% making a logo T-shirt, and I'm gonna figure something out to where I can put "I don't get it" on there or something like that. And Yeah, and I'm gonna make probably like 20 of them.
No,
and that's it. And that's
Ben,
it.
Oh,
Ben,
good.
we'll make them available. We'll make it a Hot 10 House of Stein T-shirt, and we'll
Yeah.
make it available, and people can buy it. And it would be funny if it was just like you from like this up, and you're rolling your eyes on the like. That would be great.
Some stupid facial expression,
Yeah.
which I'm
No.
sure I do all the time.
No, right here in the corner, it's him like rolling his eyes and he says, Richie's gonna make fun of me, but this cover, right? Just right here. And on the back we have the House of Secrets.
I don't get it. Yeah.
And then we have like the Brian's Modern Comic Mayhem. That would be sick.
Great stuff. Thank you, everybody that hung out tonight. We had over 250 live tonight. Absolutely amazing. Again, we appreciate every single one of you that joined in. We appreciate every single one of you that watches this on the rewind. Every time you guys do anything to support us, whether it's subscribing, hitting that thumbs up, watching, giving us super chats, super stickers, or I think there's a way you can do it now non-live. So even those, we appreciate you guys. Please leave comments too. If you guys have some ideas to making the show better or some constructive criticism, anything, leave a comment below. If you're catching it on the rewind, we read all the comments, and we're taking note. So we want to make the shows better for you guys, and hopefully you guys continue to watch and subscribe. I want to remind everybody, tomorrow night, Modern Comic Mayhem, come hang out with us. Television is going to stop by and talk about his amazing new comic book. And we're going to have a lot of fun talking about that. And, of course, other great stuff to talk about. Make sure to come check it out. Sub up, Modern Comic Mayhem, sub up to Popcorn Culture. Richie had a great show the other night. Saw him opening up some hockey, Upper Deck hockey. He didn't pull any Young Guns, which is a bummer. But he also talked some great spec. And, by the way, if you guys didn't see last week's Modern Comic Mayhem, Richie killed it. Absolutely killed it. I got so many comments how great Richie's segment was. Make sure you guys go check that out. And don't miss Comic Book Drama Alert. You can find the clip on Modern Comic Mayhem. Sub up. We'll see you there. Stein, Richie, thank you guys. Appreciate you. Everybody else, adios.